Hey guys, it's Phaedra from All Things Phaedra, and I haven't done any sort of movie reviews in a while for obvious reasons. The movies have not been open, and really there hasn't been a whole lot coming out. I'm not willing to pay $30 at home to watch something that should be a theater experience. But the reason I am here is because there is a new release on Netflix that has everybody talking, and not in a good way. And that is the movie called Mignonnes, or what you know as Cuties. So if you haven't heard much about this movie, I was on the fringe of it, and what I gathered from the trailers that I saw was that it was a show about little girls twerking their way to fame. That's actually not at all what it was about. I actually at first thought it was like a reality show, which I thought was pretty gross. Then I found out that that wasn't really what the movie was about. I'll just say that I didn't know much of what it was about. I just knew that people were talking about it. I knew that people were actually saying they were canceling Netflix. They were actually canceling Netflix. And I said, okay, I got to see what this controversy is about. Now, let me put this disclaimer out there. Number one, I'm conservative, all right? Politically, not so much socially, but I'm pretty conservative, and I don't make any bones about that. However, I generally try and keep an open mind, especially when it comes to arts and entertainment. Number two, I am a mother, but I am a mother of a boy. I think that maybe makes a difference here too. And number three, even though I am conservative, I do generally tend to be very, very moderate. All right, so where does that leave me? I'm building up to something here. Where does that leave me on this movie called Cuties? It actually leaves me in a very surprising situation. I thought it was a good movie. There, I said it. I was not going to say anything about it unless I myself had seen it. I read a little bit about it. I read a little bit about the director, who I'm sorry, her name escapes me, but it is a French movie, and I watched it on Netflix in the original language with English subtitles, because I think you lose something in the acting if you dub it. And let me just kind of give you the general idea, tell you what I thought about it, tell you where the controversy comes from. And I definitely want your input here. I don't want your attacks. I just want your input. But it is the internet. So if you feel like this is the place that you need to vent, then please feel free. So the story is about a bunch of young girls, 11-year-old girls to be exact, in France that live in, they kind of seem like they're not all from the right side of the tracks. And this story centers around one girl named Amy. Her name is Amy. It's short for something longer. And she is, I believe, from Senegal. So she's from Africa. Her family is, and they are Muslim. And if you don't know much about the country, the culture, the religion, that's okay, because you very quickly realize that it's a patriarchal culture, right? You find out that Amy's father is not there. She's longing for her father to join her mother and her brother. We get the feeling that they've just moved there to become part of this community, and her father is not there. We find out through a series of events, and some of this may be spoilers, but we find out through a series of events that her father will be joining the family, but that he has decided to take on a second wife. It is clear that it has devastated her mother, and honestly, it has devastated Amy. And all of this, I think, is very important, because the one thing that they touch on culturally in this film is that it is a woman's place to be humble, to support her husband, to cleanse yourself of sin, to be modest, all these things that Amy, I think, because of her anger with her father and the way that she feels about her mother, she kind of rebels against these things here. And so she finds herself drawn to these girls at school that are kind of the bad girls of school. They're sort of like bullies. They dress very I'll just say slutty. They dress kind of slutty. And for some reason, she's kind of fascinated by them. And the reason is because they are the exact opposite of what she is experiencing culturally. And she eventually becomes friends with these girls who are trying to win a dance competition. And their main rivals are in this movie is this group called, I think they're called the Sweetie Swag, something like that. It's a group of much older girls, and they dance in a much more suggestive way. So Ami, in order to become part of this group of girls, she has to bring something to the table. So not only does she become their friend as best she knows how, she tries to try on their culture as well, with the clothes, with the hair, with the attitude. And what results is that she tries to help them bring it to the next level. She steals a phone, she has access to the internet, she's watching really inappropriate things, really sexually suggestive things. And this is where the controversy comes in, because Ami teaches these girls these sexually suggestive moves like this, things like this, or twerking, or things that are it's not appropriate for 11-year-old girls. Okay? The movie overall, the message is how inappropriate society and culture and media has become for 11-year-old girls. And in that sense, the message is very well done. I mean, I was thinking back to when I was 11 years old and I was watching, Cyndi Lauper, Girls Just Want to Have Fun. But we also had Madonna rolling around going like a virgin. So even back then, we have these sexually suggestive role models. And I think it's only become worse over time. I mean, let's just say it right now. We have Cardi B out there talking about a wet ass pussy. And I'm sorry to say it because I think that's disgusting. Disgusting, right? The fact that there's a song like that is just disgusting. But we have 11-year-old girls and younger listening to stuff like that. The whole movie is a social commentary on the way girls are raised and the environment in which they're raised and the impact that their parents' behavior has on who they become. If you watch it, I think that you'll find that the message is poignant and very sad. It's very sad. It's a story about identity and about Ami trying to figure out who she is as an 11-year-old girl, as an immigrant girl. And it is a very nice story arc. Now, where the controversy comes in is the sexually suggestive dance moves. And actually, that's not even the heart of the controversy. The heart of the controversy is that they have 11-year-old girls portraying 11-year-old girls, and that these 11-year-old girls are creating sexually suggestive content. And by doing that, they are helping perpetuate sexually suggestive content out there. If that is your argument and your beef, I 100% understand that. And I get that this is not a piece of art that speaks to you. My opinion is that this did not feel like it was child pornography. It did not feel like it was catering to pedophilia. However, there are sick audiences out there, so there are going to be some people that maybe get turned on by this. That's kind of the sick reality of the world that we're living in. So can you tell I've gone back and forth? I can't wholeheartedly endorse this movie. I understand why people are upset with it. However, if you're upset with it, be upset with it for the right reasons, because the message of the movie and the story of the movie, I think, is an excellent one, and I think it's an important one. And I think I have to say kudos to Netflix for bringing us international entertainment that broadens our minds and helps us think. And ultimately, if this is something that you find offensive and you don't want to see and you don't like it, you have the right to cancel Netflix. I support that. I, however, am a big fan of Netflix, and I'm simply going to exercise my right to not view the content that I don't like. So, thanks for sticking around for my 2 cents on Cuties. Mignonnes. I have watched it, and I'm guessing if you're watching it, you probably either agree with me or you don't agree with me. You're not in the middle. I'd love to hear your respectful comments, and if you got anything out of this video, won't you please give me a like and subscribe. Come back for more cars, travel, and entertainment on All Things Phaedra.